Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Porter Way Podcast. As you can see, I am still remote. I got lost.
Got lost in
Missed
Cleveland?
my flight.
Lost in the sauce.
Missed my flight.
Hey, Shawn, how many flights do you miss a year?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's actually a good question. What? I don't know.
5 to 10?
Maybe.
I was thinking less. I don't think it's that many, is it?
Oh, he's pretty bad.
He cuts it close. But
He was one. He was 1 for 1 the time I was with him.
Oh, that's all that matters.
No, I meant like one
Miss.
for
for
one.
missing.
Yeah,
That's not all that matters. Then.
Yeah, I took a flight with him. I had to
In a
force
year.
him. He said, we'll just catch the next one. I said, no, let's go. And we literally, as we was walking, got to the airport, they were walking on the plane. We walked on the plane.
He missed this one. Was the two knobs on the alarm clock for any Seinfeld fan? That's what did him in.
Boom.
Listen, I woke up at 8 o'clock. The flight's 8:30. And I'm grabbing everything. It was one of those, don't brush your teeth, just get dressed and roll moves. And when I got to the door, I stopped and I just dropped my head and I dropped my bags. I was like, there's no point. Because it was an 8:30 flight.
You got to get out towards Berea to get, that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I'm actually staying downtown. Shout out to Hilton Cleveland downtown. This hotel is where I'm going to be. Like, I got business in Akron. I'm still staying here.
Is that the one that's attached to Tower City?
No, this one is not attached to Tower City. This one is the one. It's right across the street from the Cleveland Browns Stadium. So
Tower City, man.
Yeah, man, I get it all right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Catch
but
me in the
yeah,
middle.
real quick,
Catch me in the middle of the sea like fish.
Man, hey, I got the lake right there, and it's smooth too. I got a smooth view. But let me start right there real quick.
Yeah.
Officially, amateurboxingchampions.com is up. The app is not completed yet, and you'll even see that the amateurboxingchampions.com website is still it's a work in progress, and it's always going to be in progress. And it's because, for the sake of words, rankings are going to change consistently. New guys are going to come in sometimes not, so on and so forth. But there's going to be, between now and 2024, just for the sake of it, there's going to be 3 or 4 major national tournaments. And within those 3 or 4 national tournaments, I personally expect the top 4 guys that are on this app and this website to be the top 4 guys vying for that number 1 spot at the national tournaments. And that's why I said, you know what, we have to go as high as 4. We take a look at somebody like Terrence Crawford, has been at an elite level on the professional scene for a long time. He was an elite boxer in the amateur system, but he didn't make the Olympic team. I don't remember where he lost in the Olympic trials, but he definitely was one of those top 4 guys leading up to the trials. He didn't make it, but he burst on the professional scene. And he's been, all of that and some as a professional boxer. So I said, you know what, we have to go as high as 4 and profile as high as 4, because sometimes number 4 may not make the Olympic team, but number 4 may be a better professional than number 1. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do. And with that being said, it's gonna take some time for us to identify every fighter that we need to identify, for us to go to those fighters, whether it's another tournament or it's an Olympic training camp that we can catch these fighters at. But we want to get specific interviews, one-on-one interviews with all of these fighters. We want to profile all of these fighters, amateurboxing.com, amateurboxingchampions.com, and also on the app, so that everybody sees what's coming next, so that everybody can follow these men and women on their journey to the Olympics, and follow them beyond that. And I think that this is a way to bridge the gap between the fans that aren't there until some of us are almost done with our professional careers. So just really trying to work hard and bridge some gaps and keep boxing in its prestige in the world of sports. And I felt like Amateur Boxing Champions is a great way to do that.
Yeah,
that's actually the perfect time for you to bring it up, Shawn, because we had the NFL draft here in Vegas throughout the week and had the whole strip packed. Couldn't really drive too well on it because of it. So, and that stuff has grown bigger and bigger and bigger over decades. And even before these guys get drafted, Mel Kiper and them, they have their draft grades and they have their prospect grades where they grade them and whatnot. And I don't know. I feel like that'd be something great that we would get into at some point on the site too, you know, heading into the Olympics. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is how I see it, my vision. Hopefully we can dedicate more time to this another time, another show or something specific for amateur boxing champions. But what I see for this app and this website is to be international before the 2024 games. That way people are not just seeing who's coming out of the United States, but also England, Australia, Puerto Rico, France. I mean, obviously the list goes on. And it's going to take some work to get that done. Shout out to Shawn Porter. He says he's going to be along on that journey, and I trust him, as I said off air, and I know we're going to get it there. But again, back to your point, Shawn, another advantage for having this app and this website is to profile these fighters, and maybe we do a comparison chart on these fighters, just like they do for the NFL draft. I'm big on the draft. Definitely the first couple of days, and not so much this year because the Browns didn't really have too many picks, especially in the early rounds. But I'm looking at the comparisons. I'm looking at who this running back plays like and who this wide receiver is like, and so on and so forth. I definitely feel that if we can profile these fighters and do something like that, and for boxing, I think that it'll catch it'll catch fire, and it'll be something that'll stay lit for a very long time.
Yeah, and then you'll be back hopefully soon. Might be doing some live stuff this week with Canelo-Bivol.
Yeah. I missed my flight today. I got probably for me at this point, one of the biggest guests that we could have is Ace Boogie is going to be our Motivational Monday guest this Monday. And because I missed the flight, we're going to do that show live tomorrow. I believe we'll do that show live tomorrow.
But this episode comes out Tuesday.
That was yesterday.
So so on
hindsight,
so you've already you already watched it.
And it was great.
Episode. Yeah, shout out to Ace Boogie.
Go back and like it.
Yeah.
Not
Wood Harris, but
I talked to myself before we did this. I said, no need to even do it, and I messed it up. But with that being said, if you missed the Motivational Monday live, please go back and check that out. I am gonna try to rebrand this Motivational Monday and bring more motivation to it. Carson looked at me. He said, "Yo, you know what? It's really not motivation. It's more like you just bringing on a guest that's not a boxer." I said, "All right, you want me to add more motivation?" He says, "No, I'm not saying you're doing a bad job. I'm just letting you know, like you're calling it Motivational Monday, but you just have another guest on and we're talking to a guest. So expect more motivation on Motivational Monday moving forward."
Okay.
Beyond that, let me get these announcements out real quick, because beyond that, you guys don't want to do paintball live on Saturday.
We're gonna be live for paintball, but we're not gonna be broadcasting live from paintball.
I feel like we should.
Well,
we know you feel like we should.
You've been
y'all
overruled
know
on
me.
this one. Yeah, you've been overruled on this
y'all
one.
know me. Yeah. I think it's safe not to do paintball live, but anybody that was interested in coming and playing, anybody that was interested in coming and just watching, if you plan to play, bring some sweats, bring some clothes you don't mind getting dirty, because you will be rolling around on the ground and you will be getting shot by the Porter podcast. And that's how we get down right there in the desert.
Yeah.
But beyond that, that's going to be Saturday. We're going to start that at 9 a.m.
Combat Zone. Address is in the description.
Yep.
I think I will go as long as I can, but I'll probably only be there just a few hours. I will be on time, as I always am.
We're only playing for 2 or 3 hours. How long you expect us to go home, Shawn? 9 a.m. 9 a.m., correct, Shawn?
Yeah.
Arrive at 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
Shawn will be on time this time.
On time and on target.
Oh, showtime is on time. All the time.
Oh, God.
Every time.
Combat Zone,
Most
like I
of the
said, address in the description. And then we'll be live at the Barbershop Friday.
We're live at the Barbershop Friday. The Blade is on Eastern and Warm Springs. We'll get the address for that. Make sure we throw that in the description as well. Okay. Is that where it goes, Carson?
Yep.
What time is that?
That's at 3 p.m. on Friday.
Can people show up for
then?
that?
Yeah, people. Yeah, y'all are more than welcome to come.
No
get
free
a cut.
haircuts though.
Yeah, no free haircuts.
Still pay for your haircut.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. No, it ain't free.
You're not getting it twisted.
You can use code TPWP for 0% off your haircut.
Said, man, they told me the code. Yeah, no, we're gonna be up there kicking it. This is what we'll try to do. You know, if we do another live in Vegas at the barbershop, we won't go to the same barbershop every time, but we are gonna start with the shop that I'm at, that I frequent at the most, and that is the Blade, Warm Springs and Eastern, and we'll be there at 3 p.m. We'll be live 3 p.m. there, and then I am very excited, elated, humbled to announce the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame reached out to me. They are making their official announcement for their inductees for 2020, 2021, and 2022. They're going to do all 3 years this year,
classes.
Whatever. All 3 classes this year. Thank you, Carson.
Yep.
A lot like the Canelo Hall of Fame. The Canelo Hall of Fame called. They reached out. They asked me to come to that one. And they're going to recognize, again, 2019, 2020, 2022. But back to Nevada right now, they said, hey, we thought it would be cool if you brought your podcast and you guys did it live and we could do the announcement live on your podcast. I said that would be amazing. Let's put it together. We're still putting it together. But right now I do have some of the details. The induction announcement is going to be May 6th. That's Friday, 5:30 p.m. It's going to be at the Resorts World inside the Redtail. That's a restaurant over there, Resorts World. It's across from the iconic Mike Tyson statue. They're announcing 2020, 2021, and 2022. Media check-in at 5 p.m. and they plan to start promptly at 5:30. I told them I'm a product of boxing. I'm not always on time. Boxing is never on time. I said, let's try to do this and make sure that we're on time with everything and we can hit every spot the best way we can and really make this as big as it can be. So they're expecting some of the legends to come out. They're expecting some of the guys to be inducted to come out. I cannot announce 2021 or 2022, but they said you can go ahead and announce 2020 because we did announce that even though the pandemic happened and we weren't able to have that ceremony. So 2020, Bones Adams, who has become a world class trainer.
Actually trained Shane Mosley Jr. in that great performance.
Yeah.
So shout out to Bones.
Yeah. They got Miguel Cotto going in for 2020, Julian Jackson, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, James Toney, Andre Ward, just to name a few. We have a few more for 2020. Guys like that are gonna be at Resorts World May 6th, 5:30 p.m. is when it starts. You want to get there on time. It's at the Redtail restaurant, and guess what? They got some more fun for us after they do everything, and we do our thing. Mm-hmm. They said that Resorts World, right there, the Redtail, they do karaoke right there, and they said, "Shawn, you still do karaoke?" I said, yeah. She said, we got to do karaoke. Since you're gonna be in the building, we have to do that. So
they got NFL Blitz there too.
They're gonna open up the room.
They do though. They got one.
And I'm gonna try to get you on. I'm gonna try to get you on for free. Zytel. So I don't know what it take to play that game, but I'll make sure you get on for free. And in order for somebody else to get on, they got to go through you. How about that?
He's a good friend.
All right. Hey, Zytel's gonna be performing "Party All the Time."
Oh, that's a good song. Eddie Murphy. That's a great song produced by late great Rick
I love
James.
how serious he is with the headphones in that video.
Yeah.
He thinks he's making the greatest
looks like
song
he can
ever.
pull it off.
Shawn did Midnight Train to Georgia and karaoke. Carson, you was gone, right? You had left at that point.
Yeah, I don't think I was there for that one.
Shawn, what'd he do? Shawn, what'd he do?
Killed it. He said, "Come on, help me." I'm like, I don't know the words, but I'll do the best I can. We got like 2 bars. turned and looked at him like, you don't need me. And I just faded back and let him do his thing. Shawn put the hair out and everything and just did it.
Oh, wee.
Sounds like
Boy, I got some soul to him.
So it'll be a busy week for us. Stay tuned. And then we also have a lot of boxing, so we should get to that.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Some would say a fight of the year card. We'll start on the undercard. Fran Shawn. Man, they were landing some shots in that fight.
Yeah. Nose got busted early.
Yeah.
Early.
Big time.
He's the first fighter to win the Ring Magazine title at 168 pounds in women's boxing history. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Landed some big shots. It was cool to see her and Claressa fought, obviously, early on.
Their debuts.
She started off 0-1.
0-1, yeah. And Claressa was there. And she was able to support her. They kept cutting to her. She was excited to see it, which is great to see. And then after that.
Almost a shame that they went on to be two of the best fighters in the world, both undisputed.
Right, you could have built into it.
Yeah. They had to fight. It was on the first Ward Kovalev card.
Yeah.
And so, but that fight now would sell, thousands of seats probably in Michigan. And
their relationship, will they fight each other? Because I feel like they won't. But
maybe.
I feel like they're not going to fight each other. How do you feel about that, Shawn? I feel like their relationship is so close.
Yeah, I think they have a close friendship. Women are a little different from men. I think women gravitate to one another and kind of create a bond that's kind of a lasting thing, and they expose it. Men, we got to be cool and tough all the time. People don't know that I've cried in front of Ant, and I've tried to get Ant to cry in front of me.
I was about to say, don't lie.
Shawn was holding the cut onion underneath the Ant. He was like, "Yeah, come on, man, go ahead."
Hey, but our ladies are sisters.
Yeah, but our ladies are sisters. She called me. My woman did you? I'm like, no. What do you guys talk about? Not that. Right, you know what I mean? Like, but to your point, and I do think that they're super competitive, and I think that if Claressa Shields finds herself in a position where she feels that the best fight for her out there is Fran Shawn, and she feels like for them to do it again on a bigger stage than they did as making their debuts, I could see them both being willing to do it.
Especially after last night.
And obviously shout out to Barry Hunter as well in the corner.
What do you think, Shawn, when like Mike Tyson says if a guy's your friend, sometimes you should want to fight each other because you can make money together and that kind of thing? Or I don't know if you you and Terrence fought. You were friends.
Well, yeah, no, I think that it definitely helps the narrative of a promotion. And I think if done right, yes, you can make money fighting your friends. I think what Mike was trying to say is probably just because you have a friend, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't fight one another. You should try to make money together. Somebody said that to me. I said, man, I don't know about fighting Terrence. This was years ago. I don't know about fighting Terrence. And he said, yeah, y'all friends, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, don't you think y'all should break bread together? I said, I never thought about it like that. So I think that that's what Mike Tyson means. I think he means that even though you're friends, if you can make money together, you're better off making money together than making money for somebody you don't care about. You know what I mean?
And then Galal Yafai won yesterday, his second fight, knockout win. He looks like he's going to be the goods. Jesse Vargas did not look like the goods yesterday.
It was a good fight, though, Carson.
It was we had, I think, somewhat low expectations for it.
Yeah, we wasn't hyped.
Like, I thought it was going to be a decent fight, but they were throwing. Yeah. And Liam Smith gets it done.
And Vargas stopped, but not dropped. You could tell his pride. He did not want to eat those words, from talking. And ultimately, he had to because Smith wins. But I could see he took a lot of body shots. Yeah. Liam Smith was almost looking like Julio Cesar Chavez with some of that touch to the head and bang with the left hook to the body. But Vargas, man, he's had a really good career, but he's not a 154-pounder.
Yeah. And Liam Smith actually looks older than Julio Cesar Chavez. Even though he's younger.
Liam Smith looked great last night, honestly. Great performance by both.
Yeah.
Third man in the ring made it even better. Shout out to our man Steve Willis.
Steve Willis in the building.
They lucky Vargas lucky Steve Willis was in the building. Any other ref probably would have stopped that earlier. There was times where he was getting just destroyed.
Yeah. Probably getting towards the end for Jesse Vargas.
I thought we seen the last of Jesse last night.
Maybe.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse.
He's had a solid career. Yeah.
Again, actually. Go ahead.
I'll be retiring people. I know.
Yeah.
I'll be retiring people.
When I also didn't say to retire, I just think we're getting we're clearly getting towards the end. He's not young anymore, and that was how many losses in a row? 3?
2. Yeah. 2, because he had the draw with Delorme.
Who's retired? Like,
yeah, I just don't want to see somebody keep I don't want to see anybody keep fighting past him.
I'm
They
looking
should.
out for his health.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's my third fight I retired this month.
Whether he fights or not, more power to him. It's his career, his life. But main event, you talk about something that did not disappoint. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano.
Damn.
That was all action.
I don't even know where you started.
I was dead wrong. Go ahead, SP.
You know, the question I got is for Shawn Zytel, but I'm gonna save it for the end. But I turned it on while I'm at the tournament, and I mean, my phone was louder than the arena. These women put on a performance for boxing in the MSG, and it was virtually amazing for me to just watch and listen and hear how that fight was going round by round. Every round was close. I had Katie Taylor win the first 3 rounds. And then I felt like she started to slow down in that 3rd round. And I said, I knew that something was going to change for her the way that she had performed in that 3rd round. I said that was a closer round for Serrano. I still don't think Serrano won that round. But I think if Katie Taylor does not move, she's going to start to get hit more, and then we're going to start to see this fight change and go the other way. I felt like it did that. I had a question for you 3 guys. Actually, I got more of a comment and also a question as well. But I always feel that even though I feel like I think I know what a fighter should do, I feel like I keep a pretty open mind about what's happening in the ring and judging what's going on.
Oh no!
Especially what's happening in the ring. I felt like Katie Taylor won the first 3 rounds. I felt like she outboxed Serrano, and I felt like Serrano was a step behind and also 2 or 3 punches behind Katie Taylor as well. Did y'all see that in the beginning of the fight? I didn't want to make any excuses, but I was watching on my phone. I was like, I don't want to make any excuses, but I feel like Katie Taylor won the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
No, you nailed it. You could tell by the end of the 3rd round. I think Serrano finally she started to find the mark with her left hand right there at the end of the 3rd. And no, you got it right, Shawn. You could see at the end of the 3rd round, even though Taylor still won that round, that the tide was about to change. And then Serrano won the 4th round, and then she almost knocks her out in the 5th. Has it really in the 6th?
How she stayed on her feet in the 5th, I'll never know.
Man. Hey, that's crazy.
I almost got knocked out on Ant's couch when she got hit by.
I almost took a knee for her.
Yeah, that was.
And when you're talking Black Lives Matter,
that was wild.
I can't say that.
Well,
so I would get it.
So what?
I don't know. Probably can.
Go ahead, Zytel.
So what it was Shawn said before the fight that Serrano would have to tighten up her defense and her head, her movements that she does. She'd have to tighten it all up. And you could see in the first 3 rounds, she was getting countered by Taylor's speed and really that left hook. And that was impressive by Katie Taylor because she's always been able to time girls coming in, and I guess that's counterpunching, but she did more pure counterpunching with that left hook. And and we not criticize, but we talk about she has that Olympic style, kind of that amateur style still, but she turned it up a notch with that counter left hook early in the fight.
Absolutely.
But Serrano, once she tightened up her defense, like Shawn said she would need to, that's when she began to come on, and then she almost knocked her out in the 5th. And then even though she won the 6th round, I felt like she kind of got away from that. Yeah. She got away from her defense a little bit and got a little reckless. And I felt like that allowed, Katie to survive that round, even though Amanda won it. And Katie was able to get her 2nd win. And I thought the fight should have been a draw, but I had no problem if the judges scored it either way. It was that kind of fight.
Yeah. So I think of the 4 of us, I also had it a draw. I think Shawn had it a draw. I think you had it a draw. I think Zytel and I had draw, but leaning Taylor.
Yeah.
And you guys had draw leaning Serrano. Am I accurate in stating that?
Yeah.
So my biggest takeaway, and I'm 1000% guilty of this, so I'm honest enough to admit when I'm wrong. About the fight, but also, so when you look at the scoring, you can only score 1 round once.
Right.
So even if Serrano's rounds that she won were much more clearly won, that doesn't mean she won the fight. Which I think, like I said, myself, I get caught up in that all the time. But it is something where it's like, just because she won those rounds convincingly doesn't mean you look back and you go, oh, well, she won the fight. She dominated her early on. She almost knocked her out. Yeah, but there was 8 rounds outside of that. So it doesn't just kind of equal that equation out.
And you know we got a good fight because literally it's 4 of us and it's 50-50 split.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm okay with Katie winning.
Yeah. I don't think it was a robbery either way.
Scorecards I thought was a little too wide, but it is what it is. But we got a great fight.
I mean, all 3 judges scored the 10th for Taylor, and I thought Serrano won that round.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have swung the decision in her way. But.
And one judge had a 10-8 round in the 5th.
Right.
What was the 5th? What's round she hurt her in?
Fifth.
And then came back in the 6th and kept turning it up.
Yeah.
I felt like she should have just calmed down, kind of like when Stevenson dropped Valdez, and just keep working her. But I felt like she blew her load in that round, and she gave so much to get her out of there that when she didn't get her out of there, Katie got her second win and came back even stronger on the second half of the fight, which that's where she won the fight. I feel like second half of the fight, that was it.
Yeah, it was super. I mean, by Katie Taylor, like what,
Hell of a performance.
Yeah, hard to.
Hell.
And also another thing with scoring, those 2 more rounds are so hard to score.
Oh, man.
Because it almost feels like, just because we're wired for the 3-minute rounds, it almost feels like you got dropped in the middle of a round. Like the round's already underway and you're like, whoa, wait a second. And the action's going so fast. And then it's over and you're like, wait a second, what happened there?
I feel like 10
Yeah, that was
rounds.
the question I had. I had that question for Zytel. Do you think, if this had been a 3-minute round, this fight would have been completely different, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the amateurs back at like as soon as the bell rings, they just got to go. There's not really a whole lot of time for each fighter to set up and lay the traps they want to lay and take their time like they're allowed to in 3-minute rounds in men's boxing. So I think 10 rounds at 3 minutes would be a sweet spot for women's championship fights. I would love to see that in a rematch. They elevated the sport to another level last night.
Absolutely.
So with it being elevated, it's time to take it to another level. Why not?
I always just try to defer to who knows best. And if they want it and it makes sense for them, better.
Well, we know Serrano wants it.
Exactly.
And you saw why.
Yeah, very true.
And I actually talked to a couple of female boxers, and they said they train 3-minute rounds. So why not?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, SP?
Yeah, all women train for 3 minutes. That's how we do it. I had a conversation with somebody the other day because this dude, not the other day, just last night, that heavyweights, dude took a whole bunch of shots, bell rings, and he's standing up in the corner. Now all of the judges that I'm sitting next to, mingling with them, they said they got this guy standing up. They need to let him sit down. I said, you know what? I honestly don't know the science behind sitting down in between rounds. I said, we spar and we stand up between rounds when we spar. Some of us do 14, 15 rounds before a 12-round fight. All of those 14, 15 rounds being 3 minutes, and we're standing up after every round. I said, but then you fast forward and we in a fight situation and we sit down. So I don't understand the science behind sitting down in the fight opposed to sitting down in the gym. I don't know if there's a difference in fight situations, so on and so forth. But I think, again, going back to the point, I think that if women fight 3-minute rounds, it's going to change the way that they fight. I think that it's going to, honestly, it could help or it could hinder women's boxing, because this is what I know about myself. A lot of guys, when we turn pro, we never fought for 3 minutes. So we're doing 4 3-minute rounds. Now all of a sudden we want to change our pace of a fight. And that was kind of my dad's one of his beliefs is if we fight at a fast pace for 3 minutes of every single round, even in 12-minute rounds, we're gonna outlast anybody we're in the ring with, and we'll run them out of the ring. That's my dad's thing. We're gonna run everybody out of the ring. And I think that a lot of times, obviously every time it didn't work, but a lot of times that it did, and a lot of times guys were intimidated with me, not because of my power, not because of my stature or anything like that. They were intimidated about the pace that they were gonna have to fight on fight night. And I got a feeling a lot of guys, when they turn pro, they change their pace because they believe that they have to, because now it's 3 minutes and now it's 12 minutes. Now it's 12 rounds. I never really changed anything about my pace. Of course, I changed my cadence in a way that I set up shots and things of that nature. But for the most part, nothing for me changed. What I don't want to happen is these women think that now they're in 3-minute rounds and they got all the time in the world. Now the action slows down.
Right.
And now the fights aren't as exciting. And now we're like, send them back to 2 minutes, because 3 minutes, we're not getting what we were getting in 2-minute rounds. You know what I mean? So I still think that while every woman is screaming 3 minutes, and they of course they train for 3 minutes, but when it comes to fight situations, something in the back of our minds, sometimes it says, this is what I have to do because this is how long it is. This is what I have to do because this is who it is. And now things change. And I don't want that to happen for women's boxing. I think that they're in a great place. And I think, honestly, I think that the 2 minutes has helped them get to the place that they're at.
Yeah. There's pros and cons to it. And if it did change, there's gonna be evolution naturally adjusting to it.
Yeah. All in all, I would say, change it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what they do. But yeah, great fight.
One of the best fights I've ever seen. So
yeah.
All credit to the women's, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shawn, that was on the level of Keith Thurman Porter. I got to say.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
That was up there.
They had their Morales-Barrera exchanges to end the fight.
And even to close on just the event in general, you had not only obviously those two who are two of the best in the game, you had Layla Ali, Christy Martin was there,
Clarissa Shields, Michaela Mayer, Baumgardner, Sinicia Estrada.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Breck House was there. It was
Genie Foods.
Yeah, it was a great event overall. And then back to Vegas.
And then just shout out to Serrano, because it's crazy that, there's some fighters that move up and win titles in multiple divisions, like Shakur, like Floyd. They're doing it as the smaller fighter with their skills and outboxing people. But Serrano is going after Katie Taylor for 10 rounds, not taking a step back. And she's the little girl. Like, she's the one who's a natural featherweight. And so it's just crazy that she stayed on top of, because Katie Taylor is so strong when you look at her traps. And
you could see her at times when they got in.
Yeah,
tussle.
Absolutely.
So tremendous by Katie Taylor recovering in the second half, and then just tremendous by Serrano being the natural featherweight, going after the bigger fighter all night and hurting her. And we got to see part 2 in Dublin.
Yeah, and all credit to Eddie Hearn, and you guys know I'm not.
They promoted.
Big fan of Jake Paul.
They promoted.
Jake Paul brought it to the table, made it happen. He was 50% of it too.
Yeah,
they got the women paid. Keep getting these women's paid in boxing, man.
Absolutely,
they gave us a great performance.
No question.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And then out here, Zytel was in the building. MGM.
He looked like he ain't sleep yet.
Yeah, Zytel.
Yeah, for the fans, man, you're gonna get me at less energy on our shows after fights.
Yeah, he at some point he's gonna have to go to a seminar on balancing the sleep out. But and we can kind of zip through undercard. Abdullah Mason looked great.
Yep,
looks like the goods.
Troy Isley, the best Isley since the Isley brothers.
Yeah,
and that's saying a lot.
Put his opponent between the sheets, some would say.
Yeah,
hold on. We can't talk about R. Kelly.
He heard the footsteps in the dark.
Yeah, footsteps in the ring. I think he needs to come out with a remix. But the Keyshawn Davis, I think he's the one.
He looks special.
Yeah, and Nico Ali Walsh, of course. Another big knockout.
No
credits needed.
No, hey, I covered a lot of.
Was it 10 seconds into the fight or 10 seconds left in the fight?
Left when Walsh got the knockout.
I seen two
in the first round. Yeah.
I've
seen a lot. I've covered a lot of what we call club level fights. Local shows in different places, and he's better than He's better than just about most of those guys. And I'm not talking about the guys who had to start there and they eventually become world champions. But Shawn, Shawn. We cover a lot of these guys. Some of them journeymen and whatnot. He's better than a lot of those guys I see. So, for people who always want to treat him like a chump, I don't think that's right. He had a good knockout.
Yeah, big knockout.
I
was
going to say, I even appreciate the fact that Shawn just referred to him as Walsh.
You go Ali Walsh.
The world is referring to him as Ali, or Ali's grandson. And the fact that you just referred to him as Walsh, gave him his own name, you respecting this young man and respecting what he's trying to do. And I appreciate you, Shawn, and that's why you're on this show. You know what I mean?
That's his daddy's last name. Shouts to Mr.
Yeah,
Walsh.
I know.
He's a lawyer.
No,
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. I get you.
Yeah, because he's gonna go through it, you know. Yeah. And the best thing we can do is start to. Okay, so I get it. Maybe not the level you want him to be in the ring with because of his name, but you can't fake the funk and see that he was not looking at that punch when he threw it. That he did not have intentions on throwing an overhand right. The way that he threw it and his eyes was looking at the target, and the list goes on. Great punch, great over the jab, overhand right, and finish the job. You know what I mean? Like, I personally feel like, again, I agree with you, Carson, when you said, hey, let's just not put him, you know, on the co-main to the co-main.
Yeah.
I think now they're putting him where he needs to be, and he's getting the fights that he needs to get. And I like what he's doing, and I think that he's growing. And, you know, congratulations to Nico Ali Walsh.
And Shawn, that's what comes with it. I mean, that's the pros and cons of that Ali name. He's there. He's getting opportunities. Yeah, he's getting because of Ali. He's gonna get the BS because of Ali.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the pros and cons of that. If you get a Porter going, that's what's gonna happen.
Giveth and taketh away.
Yeah.
And
But Keyshawn, man.
Keyshawn Davis, my goodness, is he talented?
So I was always saying he's sometimes a little too patient.
He said
Because
pound for pound in a couple of years.
Oh, Keyshawn would be legit, yeah.
But too patient.
Like because it's you're not Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. I think you're better suited as a front foot fighter. You know what I mean? Those guys are more pure boxers.
Yeah.
And Keyshawn is very skilled too, but he's got pop in both hands. And I loved how he fought on the inside.
Yeah.
That defense on the inside and then rip into the body. And especially in rounds 5 and 6, as he started to finish him off, I saw the Keyshawn Davis that could be a superstar.
Yeah.
Once he got his combinations going and he hardly was taking a step back and he was letting his hands go, and it was sensational.
Did he hit him with 4 straight left hands, by the way?
What was it, the left hook?
Yeah, it was like a left hook. He was just like...
And kept throwing
another one.
Yeah.
Another one. He was DJ Khaled in there.
Another one.
But yeah, he is... You can just... There's certain fighters and athletes in general, you can just see are special. He's that. So I have a question for you, SP. My guy, Sibby Boxing, brought this to me. How do you like for this next matchup? This is advancing him a little bit.
Shawn, oh man.
Keyshawn Davis, Frank Martin.
Undercard.
No, it's too soon for both those guys.
Is it? For both of them?
Too soon for both those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell of a fight, though, Shawn.
I'm a Martin fan.
Yeah,
hell of a
absolutely.
fight.
I'm a fan. And the way that the boxing world works, the way that the business of boxing works, if Frank Martin wins, now we're gonna say Keyshawn we hyped him up and he's not who he is, so on and so forth. By the way, I do think that that's a 50-50 fight, even though Frank's got a little bit more experience than Keyshawn on a professional stage. Keyshawn is so
coming.
polished. That dude, oh man, polished guy right there, man.
Again.
Yeah. And just, you know what I mean, understood what he needed to do right here at this point, you know? But back, I really don't want to even spend much time on that
and,
fight.
I do
think that is an exciting fight.
Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence might be fight towards the end of the year. You know, one guy's aligned with Bud, one guy's aligned with Errol Spence. And I'm just saying, the way he proposed it made sense. Also, he mentioned Rayo Valenzuela too, which would be an exciting fight. But
politics get in the way.
Those would be great. Why are we going? Why don't we get Derrick James versus Bomac?
Yeah, maybe.
Bomac didn't have the best record, but you know.
both retired fighters, but. Keyshawn, again, it's going to be fun to watch him. We'll be getting to say, hey, man, I saw him early on getting these wins, which is great.
He's got a great personality, too.
Yeah, he's just he's an energetic kid, and he magnetizes to you a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to see him. But, another special young talent, Shakur.
Yes. Goddamn, lightweight is just crazy.
He was the rapper.
It's all the
zapper.
talent we got. I know. Everything from 130 to 140, the talent's crazy.
He did everything but knock him out last night.
Yeah, I don't know. I even tweeted like we thought that was how that was gonna happen, right? Like I wasn't like that's exactly if you would have told me ahead of time, hey, this is what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm about there.
Damn.
Shawn, you said the bug zapper?
That was me.
Oh, that was you.
He's like MF Doomsday, the rapper bug zapper. He's like Valdez is this big puncher. He's explosive. He's offensive. And Shakur's like, no, not today. Sorry, not against me.
I haven't seen defense like that since the late great Floyd Mayweather. He ain't dead, but
I was gonna say, don't say late great. he's still great, and he's here. He's current,
but he gives himself so much credit. So sometimes I gotta knock it
okay,
down.
fair enough. And they were actually together after the fight
with Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, with Bud too.
He'd be like, "Hey, remember that time? Hey, when I fought, I did some guy just like that too."
Yeah, some of the greatest. What were your initial takeaways on the Stevenson performance?
Greatness, nothing less than what I expected from him. I told this story. I don't know if I think I told it on this podcast. But Shawn Zytel was sitting there with me. We were watching Shakur, his first sparring session in camp, and I was just like, I said, this dude he's ridiculous. And Shawn's like tell me what you're seeing, champ. I said his intuitive spirit to just make the right moves and do the right things 10 out of 10 times. That's so rare. Like, do y'all understand how rare that is? And I look at boxing from a different perspective than a lot of people. So I watch your feet, I watch your hands, I watch your eyes. I like to read your body language and read your thoughts as you punch and so on and so forth. Go back and take a look at Shakur in any fight. His defense, sometimes it's a lean back. Sometimes it's a lean back, one step and a lean back. And then out of nowhere, he knows that this guy's coming a little stronger, so then he takes 2 steps back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
He makes the right move every single time. Go back and look at it, and when he doesn't go back like that, he stays in the pocket and he does a little shoulder roll. He dips in and he gets where he needs to be. Like the percentage of guys of punches landed on him is ridiculous. I think that was nice what ESPN put together for him some odd fights ago. But again, go back and watch this fight. And it wasn't, for me, it wasn't just the offense or not just his offense that makes me feel he's great. But for me, it's his defense, how he utilizes his defense to create his offense. And then again, 10 out of 10, at the least 8 out of 10 times, he's making the right move, not just offensively, but also defensively. And not just defensively, but also offensively. And that's why I think that he is one of the greatest fighters of this generation already. And I think that, like he says, I'm ready. I want to grab all the straps at 130 and then move up. I got no doubt that's going to happen. He's still got some exciting fights to be made at 130. And I think more than anything, all of us are waiting on him to move up to 135 because it's some more clappers over there in that division.
And I think from a Valdez perspective, it's important for us to not all of a sudden say, yeah, Valdez is garbage. No. Because if you thought Valdez was the guy before the fight, that means you have to give Shakur even more credit because he lit him up like that.
And shout out?
I had Valdez winning 1 round.
Yeah, maybe.
1 or 2.
I had him win 2 or 3. And although, again, live, it's different than television. That's what the judges had, 2 or 3 rounds for Stevenson. No, Valdez is still that guy.
Yeah.
He's still that guy.
Yeah.
It's just Stevenson is that much better. They took apart and dissected a brilliant game plan from Valdez and Reynoso. Valdez pretty much did everything he was supposed to do. It just did it. He threw the straight right hand. He even landed it a couple times in the 3rd round. He went to go to the body against a guy who has great defense, go to the body. He went to the body all night. He threw the right hand against the southpaw. There was even times he tried to set traps for Stevenson and not let his punches go enough, try to get Stevenson to open up and time him or something, but Stevenson was too smart. Like Shawn says, he always makes the right call. And at times he just took what the defense gave him. And then when Valdez really got desperate and opened up, bang, got the knockdown in the 6th round.
Yeah.
And Valdez fought a good fight, just couldn't get it, couldn't do anything. But one thing Stevenson did that was beautiful, that straight left to the body was beautiful. And again, like I said, taking what the defense is there, he threw so many beautiful decoy shots. I'm going to throw this right hook and this left hand up top just to make you put your hands up and then bam, knife you to the body. I'm going to throw this shot and this shot just to get your hands over here and hit you where they're not. And it was just brilliant stuff. Yeah.
Like I said, Shawn, I've never seen nobody that defensively sound by not wasting punches since Floyd Mayweather. I feel like Adrian Broner, Andre Berto tried to do that, but he don't really try what's it called?
Shoulder roll.
Shoulder roll. He has his own style
that chin
with a tweak on it.
Right.
It's his own style. It's like his grandfather taught him this at an early age. I mean, if my kid was going to box, I'll teach him to be defensive sound too. But it's like a tweak on it. It's a little action. It's a little more action than Floyd.
They call it the Philly. It's Philly more shell? Like the Philly roll. Am I right?
No, Philly roll is sushi.
Huh?
Philly roll is sushi.
What?
The Philly shell.
What's the name? Huh?
The Philly shell.
Yeah, Philly shell. I said Philly roll.
You're good. You're good. Don't let Carson. Carson's a bully.
No, I was making sure he said the correct thing.
He's a bully.
Philly rolls are delicious.
He's a bully.
He's hungry.
I was like, wait a minute, is it sushi?
Yeah.
The Philly shell.
Philly shell.
I like Philly. You know what? I put the two together. I put the sort of roll.
Maybe it is a Philly roll. Maybe it's a Newark roll.
There you go.
Most people from Jersey root for the Eagles and stuff. It's weird. They don't even go for New York team. So he's almost a Philly guy anyway.
I feel like the Mayweather.
Is it familiar to? Is that defensive move that he does? What is it familiar to?
You mentioned in the group chat we had before the show that he's a little bit of in-betweener between Pretty Boy and Money. And I think he leans a little more towards the money side right now.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Yeah, and kind of closer to that. And he like Ant said, he's developing his own style. He's not Pernell Whitaker, even though he's a southpaw and slick like Sweet Pea is. Yeah. He's got some money May in him. The way he's incredible at slowing the pace down to where he wants it. It's so hard to hit, but
he's kind of a puppet master to an extent where whatever he just kind of, like Shawn said, he controlled the sparring. Yeah. That's how he controls the ring. Like Valdez, you have this explosive fighter and he's just like, he just slows him down. It's like the Force. Like in Star Wars, he's like, no, you stay there. Don't hit me. I'll hit you though.
You reach, I teach.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you mentioned 130. I don't see Ogawa or
they don't stand a chance
giving him even a slight.
But he's probably can't get them in the ring.
Yeah, which we'll see. I think he'll have to just figure out if he wants to go to 135 or if he wants to really push and get where he needs to go and get those fights to win the belts and be undisputed. But he's gonna be great if he's at 130 or 135 or beyond.
What's next? I mean, the one that I feel like we can make happen.
Loma.
Man, I was trying to build this guy.
No, I'm down for it.
Yeah. Hey, Loma,
that'd be unbelievable.
Big time fight.
Yeah. It'd be beautiful if Loma could somehow get Ogawa or Gutierrez in the ring so he can get one of their belts to incentivize Shakur because as great as Loma's been, not a champion right now. And I feel like Shakur deserves to come up on a belt in that fight,
50-50 fight?
I think it's slight edge to the young guy.
Yeah, I was going to actually,
60-40?
I lean Shakur, which is a lot for me to say.
Edge to the young guy, not slight.
That's a fantastic fight, though.
Yeah,
Shawn got a smile on his face.
That's Bobby Fischer versus Bobby Fischer in some chess.
And whoever loses, Bobby will cut you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shout out to Oscar.
Hey, Shawn, over the years you'll hear like "Don't Paul" with the jab, but he's able to dominate.
Hooker.
Yeah, it's those phrases, right?
Hooker his whole life.
Catch with a catcher.
But why? How's he dictates so well with that rangefinder? Like he just dictates with it so well. What's he doing to dictate off that so well?
I'm glad you came back to it because that's really the only knock I have on him. That move is he paused with it enough for it to not be illegal, but then near the end of the fight, he started to not only paw with it but extend it and leave it out there. Once you leave it out there, it becomes a stiff arm. And the stiff arm
NFL
is illegal.
draft. You can imagine he's
Did he
influenced
go
by it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So he started to leave it out there, and I felt like he just knew that he was in control, and so he started to just leave it there. I'm wondering if there's a fighter out there, i.e. Lomachenko, that can offset that jab hand in the way that he uses it as a range fighter and the way that he uses it to control his opponents. I think what people are looking at, I have no doubt, what people are looking at when they are standing across from Shakur Stevenson, they can't predict him. And when you can't predict a fighter, you can't read a fighter, you don't know what that fighter is going to do, you stop. You don't go offense. You're so frozen that sometimes your defense ain't ready.
Stuck in purgatory.
You don't know what to do. And Shakur, against everybody that he's fought now, including Valdez, everybody has frozen. not because of fear or not because of the moment or anything like that. They're frozen because they can't read him. They don't know what he's gonna do. And it's his job to just continue to be who he is, because he's undetectable, he's unreadable, and it's because like of those things. Yeah.
this dude just keeps going. You all right?
It's undetectable.
Oh, okay. You drunk some milk this morning or something?
No. Yeah. I ate some cereal.
Right. No breast milk.
No.
Okay. He's undetectable, man. And that's where all of his success is. You asking me about that right hand? How is he controlling guys with that right hand? I don't even think it's the right hand that's controlling guys.
What's behind it?
I think that he's very manipulative in the ring because guys don't know what's coming. So they freeze, they stop, they wait, they guess wrong, they try, they're wrong when they try. I mean, the list has gone on and on. Again, moving all the way to Lomachenko, moving to all the elite guys at 135. There's nobody at 130 that's going to challenge Shakur Stevenson. I believe that he will be challenged at 135, and I think that the fights that he can make at 135, those are closer to 50-50 fights, because then you get into the fact that one or two different things that could happen and the outcome of the fight could change. And so I think he outmatches everybody at 130, and I think that he's more evenly matched at 135. A lot of great fights for him at 135. I would love to see him against Vasily Lomachenko.
Him and Haney might be on a collision course. Yeah, long, big picture wise, long term. Yeah.
The Loma fight, I think it'll be a great fight, especially for Carson. Merck.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, a lot of boxing fans, they think it's boring. I think they'll be trying to figure each other out most of the fight.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
we don't
two
get to
technicians.
see that much. I've seen that on the amateur level. We don't get to see that on the professional level.
Two
where
technicians
guys
in a ring like that?
Technicians trying to figure each other out round by round. Mm-hmm. And I know while myself and Shawn and a lot of other big boxing fans are going to be, we'll be foaming at the mouth at every round and every minute of every round. There's a lot of people out there that's going to be like, man, what are they doing?
Yeah.
But when it catches fire, one guy feels down on the cards. That's when it's up. And I think that's a fight that we all have to be patient for a number of rounds until it heats up.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can close on another Eddie Reynoso fighter. Can Canelo pull Eddie Reynoso out of this 2-fight losing streak?
Yeah, I think he does.
After Chocolatito touched up Martinez.
There's no one better in the world to get him out of it.
Yeah, he's the ultimate. He's the ultimate ace pitcher that can get you out of a losing streak.
Is Eddie overrated?
Yeah. No, he had a good game plan last night. Stevenson was just
a better guy.
A step ahead all night.
Is Bomac overrated?
No, I mean he got
2 of the pound for pounds, 1-2.
Yeah,
he got Rob Brandt and Jamel Herring, 2 guys that you probably ask guys in the amateurs, is this guy ever going to win a world title? They'd say no, and he got them both to a title. So
So let's go. Canelo-Bivol. I'm sticking with my guns. I think Bivol gets it. Actually, let me say this. I think Bivol will win the fight in the ring. I'm not sure he gets the decision.
Very wise caveat.
Yeah. And not that I think anything's suspicious, not that I think anything's like that. Canelo,
he's the face of boxing.
He's the face of boxing. You're going to get naturally, it's like the NBA superstar calls, they happen.
People like money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and Canelo is the best pound for pound fighter in boxing. So
makes everybody money.
Yeah, and I think we gave Caleb Plant rounds that they did not give Caleb
Plant. And that's what I'm kind of I was looking at the scorecards. I was like, okay, he wasn't winning any of these rounds on the cards. But so I will make my case for why Bivol wins.
Okay.
And you guys will shoot it down, and everyone in the comments
will hit you
will
with a counterpunch.
Bivol is the bigger man.
Okay.
He is natural 175.
Okay.
He throws volume punching, 1s and 2s, and I think he's got some good pop. So I think for Canelo, who is able to bully guys and is able to back them up. I mean, Caleb Plant was good defensively, but Bivol isn't. Somebody might think he's going to be somebody that might fight on his back foot, but he's not. He's a big guy, and he comes forward and throws a lot of punches. So, I think it gives Canelo trouble. Do I think he's going to blow Canelo out or knock him out? No. Am I going to be even a percentage shocked if Canelo wins? Absolutely not. Best fighter in boxing. But tell me why Canelo wins.
I feel like if he cannot stand his ground against Canelo, and this, all my stuff is going to sound like Canelo is the 175 guy because he's that great. I feel like if Bivol cannot stand his ground against Canelo, keep him on the jab all night, he's going to have hell. I feel like Canelo's going to the body. The body is going to be a body shot that stops him. He's going to put him on the ropes, stops him with a body shot. It's going to be different levels. Bivol is going to be in there with something he'd never seen before.
And Bivol also known for leaving his body exposed for body punching.
And he was hurt. I mean, he beat him pretty good, but he was hurt by
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Beat him pretty good, but I got to go Canelo's. Is this wild to say that Canelo's a stronger puncher?
No.
It's not?
No.
He's
explosive. He's cracking.
I feel like he's stronger, smarter, more athletic fighter in this fight, and I think all that.
Definitely more athletic.
Yeah, this is a different level Bivol's never been to, and I got Canelo stopping him late, 11th round.
Zaitel, and then we'll go to you, SP.
I mean, if Bivol is to pull it off like you think he might, he's going to do it the Golovkin way, and he has some similar attributes to Golovkin, and the two guys who've gotten the most rounds off Canelo in the last several years is Golovkin and Kovalev. They're from the same amateur type program that Bivol comes from. Busy jab. But I think Canelo's better than he was from the Golovkin fights. And then against Kovalev, Canelo, his fight right before that was at 160. And before that, he had his first fight at 68. I think him fighting constantly at 68, he's going to be stronger at 175 this time than he was against Kovalev.
Yeah.
I just expect Canelo to be the counter puncher on the front foot. And this fight will come down to the jab. If Bivol can establish his jab, it'll be a fight. There'll be some competitive rounds. But if Canelo takes that jab away from him early, he's going to dominate. And I think Canelo will take that jab away as early as the first half of the fight. Like Floyd Mayweather used to slip and then come over the top of the jab with that right hand. Canelo's got that. I think Canelo's going to hit a lot of body shots off the slip, off the head movement. So I expect him to be Canelo, come forward, and be the counter puncher on the front foot. He kind of always does that, but I just look for him to figure out Bivol. Bivol, fundamentally sound, strong guy, pop in both hands, strong guy. But I just think Canelo will figure out his offense in the first half.
A little more versatile.
Yeah, and just in the speed difference will be big for Canelo too. But Bivol's a strong-willed guy, so I think that he'll go the distance. But I got Canelo winning kind of easily.
All right, nod your head. Go ahead.
Yeah. I've just been listening the whole time.
And nodding, doing the Will Smith. Nod your head.
I agree with everything that, not the guy in the middle, but everybody else. Y'all were like.
I had to look for a second if I was in the middle or not.
Hey, man, my stuff was solid.
Yeah, I thought Andy did great. Go ahead, SP.
Bivol, this is the most evenly matched fight that Canelo has been in years. I don't know what the odds were when he was in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, but I got a feeling that this is the guy since Floyd that's going to challenge. I guess I can go back to Triple G. Since Triple G, that is going to challenge Canelo the way we have not seen Canelo be challenged again since he fought Triple G the first time. I didn't think that it was quite as competitive the second time. That's just me. Bivol has pop in both hands. He's strong. He can punch with both hands. That means when he throws a jab, if it touches you, you're going to feel it. If he hits you with a right hand, you're going to feel it, the hook, the list goes on. Canelo has not been in the ring with that since Triple G. I think that Bivol is a better version of Triple G. I think that Bivol has better feet. I think that Bivol has a better offensive game now than Triple G did the second time that they fought. I think that where this fight is going, the separation in this fight is going to be the speed. I think that Bivol is going to try to control the distance with the jab. I think he's going to try to control the distance with his punch output and his pace of the fight. And I think that that's going to work for him. But I got a feeling he's going to be too slow for Canelo and he's going to catch up with him. I expect this fight to be very competitive from the start. I think that he's going to cause Canelo to kind of hesitate or not take those chances that we would normally see Canelo take early on in the fight. I think that he's going to be reserved when the fight starts. But I think as the fight starts to unfold, we'll start to see Canelo's punch output pick up. We'll start to see him rip to the body, get to the body as he does. On the other side of that, we got Bivol. Bivol can take a shot. Bivol, again, he's strong, he's powerful, he's responsible defensively. He's not afraid to take a step back to keep that range and that distance. He's not afraid to cover up and block. The difference between Bivol and a lot of guys, when Bivol block, he's gonna move. A lot of guys are just block, and I'm gonna eat this until I'm broken down and nothing works anymore. I think it's going to take a long time for Canelo to break down Bivol. I think that this is going to be a close fight, upwards to 7 rounds. And then I think that that's when Canelo is going to really turn it on and start to take over. I want to see how Bivol responds at that point. Bivol has a lot of confidence. He's got a lot of courage. And again, like I said, he can take a punch. I don't see Bivol backing down the way a lot of guys do on the second half of a fight against Canelo. With that being said, if his fight's close upwards to 10 or 11 rounds, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I have Canelo winning a decision.
I think Bivol needs the win. He needs the bank rounds early for sure. Like those rounds where you said where Canelo might be figuring them out a little bit. Don't leave those up to interpretation from the judges. Make sure you win those rounds because later on, when Canelo does put his foot to the gas, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to win rounds.
And Canelo, as better as his stamina's got, he still takes a round off here, round off at some point in the fight. So
you got Bivol?
Yeah, I got Bivol.
So, and if you're like Carson and you believe in my man, you got extra $1,000. Hey, put $1,000 on him. Win you back $4,700.
Oh, there you go.
But if you know what everybody else knows, go ahead, throw your $1,000 on Canelo, get you $1,200.
Yeah, that's nothing.
So
hey, I thought you was trying to bet a G with somebody in the comments. I was like, dang,
for a second I did too. I was like, dang, Ant really got the blue wire
We're
money.
here in Vegas, baby. We're at the Wynn Resort.
Couple things on the undercard. Montana Love, Cleveland Zone.
Montana
gets another shot. And then a title eliminator, heavyweight. Philip Ergovich was looking for somebody to fight.
Finally got one.
A lot of people weren't fighting him. And now he fights Big Bang Zhang.
Awesome fight. I mean, fun fight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Somebody going to get banged?
Philip should win that fight.
Yeah. Philip Ergovich will win. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun fight for however long it goes. But yeah, that'll be out here, and then
we running it back at the house.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe Shawn sneaks us in the back door of the building. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of lives this week. Paintball for sure. Yep. And stay tuned to everything going on. Anything else? Any closing words there? Spirit
Zordon.
Sure. The Porterway Podcast actually at the Blue Wire Casino or Blue Wire Studios in the Wynn Hotel and Casino. That's where you can check us out. Sundays we record. Shows drop live on Tuesday. We might do the show live this Sunday.
You have problems. You have serious problems.
I do. I got problems.
I get it though. You gotta go live after the big ones.
He's live time, Shawn Porter.
Oh man, Shawn.
Hey Shawn, I love the 49ers do-rag. We love you, man. You're part of the faithful now.
I thought it was Cleveland Guardians colors, but yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully, we'll see you guys all at paintball.
Yeah, hey, if you show up at paintball, we have shirts we're giving away for free. So,
there you go. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
there you go.
Make it happen.
Tell them bye.
Good deal. Again,
say bye to the people. I said, tell them bye. Say bye to the people.
I got to be back in studio, man. This is the last time I was hurt to my heart when I woke up this morning late. Of course, first thing I thought of was I'm not going to be in studio today. So, again, Blue Wire Studios at the Wynn Hotel Casino. Appreciate you guys.
You know it, Shawn. You're not always on time.
You ain't think about you're not going to hug your kids or kiss your wife and nothing like that?
Of course, I had that whole conversation with my wife.
But after that,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta let everybody know that I'm very sorry that I'm not there.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was for them.
We got to get him on some Ashanti, man. Always on time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my jam.
Oh, man. I'll see y'all in the
All right, man.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Porterway Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter Way Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're going to do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brennaugh.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.